Combat juice. What can I get you?
Actually, I'm okay.
Whatever.
Get ready to fight!
Looks like we missed the meeting.
Let's look around. Maybe Zia left something behind. Think I found something. Looks like a wire.
Hey, Ryder. Something's hidden here.
Gotta be a way to get inside. Sam?
The lock is controlled remotely, perhaps by something nearby.
Maybe this will get us inside. Here goes nothing.
Did it do anything?
Reyes, I found a data pad with what looks like a nav point.
Must be where Zia's hiding the cargo. Probably left that behind for the buyer.
Why not just tell the buyer directly?
Frequencies can be hacked. Dead drops are considered safer, especially for a big sale.
Did you find anything on your end?
The Salarian is a fence. No direct connection to the collective. My guess is Zia met him to find potential buyers. Let's follow up on those coordinates. I'll meet you there. Pathfinder,
This area can be mined for resources. You can extract minerals via your mining interface.
Thank you. That meant everything.
Let me know if you find some medicine.
Get ready to fight!
Party started without us.
Pathfinder, this area can be mined for resources. You can extract minerals via your mining interface.
It's empty. What if this was all just some elaborate trick to get you here?
You mean there was never any cargo?
Bravo. I knew you'd figure it out eventually.
Zia.
You could never resist the big payout.
What can I say? I'm a greedy man.
That's why you don't have any friends. You're selfish.
Skip the small talk. Why'd you lure Reyes here?
He's been taking all the good jobs in Kadara. It's gotten more than my attention.
So what? The local smuggling union got together and decided to take me down?
Something like that.
Shit.
Move in.
Here they come!
I knew I wasn't popular, but I never thought the other smugglers would team up against me. Kind of flattering, actually.
They might try again.
Undoubtedly. But it's harder to kill a man who knows you're gunning for him. Ah, all that effort and no credits to show for it.
There are a few less smugglers in Kadara. Think of it as thinning out the competition.
You and your silver linings, Pathfinder. I should clean up this mess. Zia was a piece of work, but it feels wrong to leave her out in the open. Go on. I'll take care of this.
Pathfinder, this area can be mined for resources. You can extract minerals via your mining interface. Pathfinder, this area can be mined for resources. You can extract minerals via your mining interface. Pathfinder, this area can be mined for resources. You can extract minerals via your mining interface.
Hostiles ahead!
I think we're done.
What's up, Ryder? Why an emergency meeting?
I didn't call it.
I did. Got some disturbing news while we were on Kadara. There's some tension at the Krogan colony on Eladin. It's bad.
Tension among Krogan? You don't say.
I wouldn't waste your time with this if it wasn't important. We need to go.
I agree. Nakmor Morta made herself overlord of the colony. It's weird.
No. Our priority is the Archon. We have to remain focused on his next move.
Jall's right.
We won't make any rash decisions. Drax just brought a problem to the team. Let's dial down the emotions so we can be clear-headed.
Well, as long as we're pitching stuff, I overheard outlaws on Kadara talking about activity in the Ramov system.
No, that's the system where the Turian Golden World was supposed to be.
Ramov? There aren't any viable planets there. Only an asteroid field with mining ventures run by criminals.
I hear Elodin's pretty rough too. Roving scavengers with nothing to lose.
Crap. No one fights harder than people with nothing to lose.
But now that we have the transponder, we're so close to finding the location of Archon's ship.
Our goal is to create our home here. You never know how something might fit in. Anyway, get Callow the nav points for both Elodin and that potential Turian Golden World. We want all our options ready to go. Hey, I didn't say dismissed or meeting adjourned or anything. Meeting adjourned. As you were.
Yay, more cans.
Are you sure about that, Lexi? We don't know how long we're going to need the rations to last. Even trading with Kadara and Aya, we don't have a reliable food source in Helios yet. I'm sure you'll find a way.
Kadara Port's pretty grisly, huh? Probably get into all sorts of trouble there. And now we're going after the Archon's ship? Sure, that's a good idea.
Of all the ideas so far, it's the one most likely to blow up in our face.
Oh, thanks for the inspiration. Any other bubbles you want to burst?
So what's your take? Is this Meridian what we think it is?
Everything we've seen, each remnant system we've uncovered, is connected to everything else. The bots, the monoliths, the vaults. It stands to reason that activating Meridian will connect the entire network and rekindle terraforming across the cluster.
So you think we're doing the right thing?
Well, yeah.
Thanks for chatting. We'll talk again later.
You know it.
You have new email at your terminal, Pathfinder.
Ryder, might I borrow your research room access?
What for?
There's a small something I need to take care of. I might need your help if you could.
I'll help if I can.
Suvi, could you take the helm for a little while? I mostly need your authorization to add to the database.
Is that our drive core?
The full blueprint. Only a few are in the system. I had them all by memory. So I drew them out. Every line, all the specs. Gil will be needing them. I won't.
You're still not comfortable with Gil being in charge of your Tempest, are you?
Call it more memories of the time that they were going to scrap the whole project. Some engineering consultant kept insisting the ship would never fly right. He used a lot of Gil's arguments. I think that's why this hurts. The others died thinking we won, that their legacy was safe, and I failed them.
You showed us the Tempest through your eyes. Why she matters. Even Gil sees it now.
We forget all our technology didn't just appear. Someone invented it. Someone cared. And in the end, someone new always takes up the banner and pushes forward. I need the tech officer's sign-off on these schematics. Any thoughts on how to do this?
Gil, got a minute? I need you in the research room.
Be right there.
I thought we settled this. What's going on?
I saved the Tempest schematics for you. It'll be easier with them on hand.
Seeing her drawn out down to the basics, she's kind of beautiful.
Oh, right. You never saw.
Yeah, look at the arc here. That's artistry. And there.
Hey, Jal. Didn't mean to scare you.
What? I'm not scared. 1 second.
What's going on in here? You look busy.
If I'm busy, my mind is occupied with whatever I'm working on, rather than worrying.
I can see how that helped.
I'd like your advice on something. I'm making gifts for everyone. I have a list.
Gifts?
Do Turians like poetry? For Vetra, I'm writing a poem and engraving it on... I'm not sure yet.
Who doesn't like a personalized poem?
Great. Maybe I could just recite it for her.
Make sure I'm there for that.
Liam seems to like my Rofgin. I might sew him one.
He does.
Do Krogan like knives? I could craft a ceremonial Angaran dagger for Drac.
Who wouldn't want that?
It's mainly decorative. Would you like one?
Jarl, this is a lot of work. What's really going on?
I'm sure that I seem confident and skilled to you, but I'm not. Or I don't feel like I am.
I think most people feel like that.
I want to fit in. I want to make a difference.
And most people probably think the same thing.
My family is well known. Our lineage is respected, and many of my kin have achieved great things. I've never been one of them. So many older siblings and cousins who succeeded at everything. I stopped trying to keep up.
Right.
Thanks for listening.
You're not in anyone's shadow here. I believe in you.
The Rokar go to Kadara and recruit the desperate. I've heard a Rokar recruiter weaving his magic. Even I was convinced.
Do you have a mate? A partner?
I don't. Not for a long time.
Not for a long time.
I fell in love with a girl once. Aliyah. We were young. I was young. It was my first vassal on Aya. We worked on the same farm. She was a little older. A researcher. I can still hear her laugh and see her eyes. She kissed me and I was hers. Thrilled and seduced.
But it didn't work out?
My older brother came to Aya. He was already famous in the Resistance.
Where's Aliyah now? Did she and your brother work out?
They came back to Haval, and she joined our family. She became one of the mothers.
You have to see her every day?
No. They were taken by the Ket. Their children survived.
Well, enough about that. Can I ask you a few more questions?
Of course. If I can answer them, I will.
Did you always want to be a fighter? Did you study anything particular in school?
No. I don't like to talk about it. But I'm not a fighter. Not really. The Ket occupation creates chaos. So our education is chaotic. I'm not really anything. But that's an excuse. The truth is, I don't know what I want yet for my life. At my age, I hope being here will inspire me.
Can you tell me about your family? Assuming you have one.
Sit down. This will take time. Is someone bringing us snacks and drinks?
Whoa, your family's that big?
I have one true mother, Sahuna, and more than 5 additional mothers. And many, many, many siblings. And cousins, all raised together. Our families constantly change and evolve. Relationships come and they go. My father is gone, taken, or killed by the Ket. We never found his body.
I'm sorry about that, Jarl. I understand. I just lost my dad.
Something in common between aliens, then. We are fatherless, yet we fight on. Anything else you want to ask?
Do Angara plan their futures? Do you dream about what you want to accomplish?
You put plan and dream in the same question.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. You meant to do that. Angara thirst for now. We don't strive to make the future better. We strive because the present is lacking.
Well, enough about that. I want to learn more about your species.
What would you like to know?
Is there a central Angaran religion?
There are many variations. An almanac could give you an accurate number. But if you are a believer, the essential tenet is, after we die, we are reincarnated. We evolve to make our families strong. Born from what was before. Blessed to be better than before.
Are you a believer?
No. Yes. Sometimes. I don't know if it's the same for humans. Sahuna, my true mother, is a firm believer.
The Angara seem so open and free with their feelings.
Are we? We're certainly not ashamed of our feelings. We're taught that feelings and beliefs should live on the outside, where they can be dealt with, honestly and openly.
Don't people get hurt?
Of course. Then everyone deals with it. That's the point.
How long have you had electromagnetic capabilities? How did they evolve?
No idea. Biology doesn't interest me, but I'm sure you can easily read up on it.
That's disappointing. No biology at all?
How do your eyeballs work?
Okay, I get your point. Maybe I can find an Angara doctor to ask about your... whatever.
Although, I used to know some facts, like the origins of our vestigial organs.
Oh yeah, humans have a coccyx, a vestigial tail, and I have webbed toes, just a couple, but Sarah doesn't. And she had wisdom teeth, but I didn't. Now you.
No idea.
How many colonies do you have? On what planets?
Since the Scourge, we've managed to survive on a small number of planets. What we know from before the Scourge is mostly oral history. We did have spaceflight, and the stories tell of 5 original colonies.
You studied with Moshae Sefa. Is she a teacher or a religious figure?
She's many things. She's a clear thinker with deep knowledge and insight. She teaches and inspires. She is beloved. I love her.
People are willing to die for her. She sounds pretty special.
She is. I hope you get to know her.
The Angara seems so open and free.
We're taught that...
Don't people get hurt?
Of course. Then everyone deals with it. That's the point.
Well, enough about that. Can you tell me more about the Ket occupation?
It's a difficult subject. I'll answer what I can. I may get emotional.
What's living under the Ket been like for you?
Do you really want to hear about these things? They're painful.
I asked, didn't I?
It's like living on unstable ground. Every day brings more horrible news. I part company with someone not knowing if I'll ever see them again. When I was a boy, my father vanished from my life. One horrible day.
Was he in the Resistance?
No. He was a technician at a mine. He went to work and didn't come home. That happens for an Angara child somewhere, every single day.
When the Ket came, why didn't you fight?
They didn't give us a reason to. Until they did. Then it was too late. Perhaps you think we were weak. But the Ket are ruthless. They are masters at knowing exactly when and how to strike.
I get that, believe me. Have the Ket always been here?
No. Some, like the Moshai, are old enough to remember the time before the Ket. But I don't. Nor do my mothers.
And the Archon came with them?
We think so. Resistance intel on that is unclear, and few have seen him in person.
And lived to tell?
And lived to tell.
Well, enough about that. Do you have a mate?
I don't. Not for a long time.
Well, enough about that. Can I ask you a few more questions?
Of course.
Well, enough about that. I'll see you later, Jarl.
Stay strong and clear. My reports from Ephra regarding Aksul are worrying. I don't understand how the Rokha manages to recruit so many.
I'll see you later, Jarl.
Stay strong and clear. What can I do for you, Pathfinder?
I'll see you later, Jarl.
Stay strong and clear.
Anything I can help with?
I'm still fuzzy about how we managed to see Andromeda all the way from home.
The Initiative obtained data from an array in deep space, a Geth construct. According to Aridana, the Geth rebuilt a mass relay and turned the approach corridor into an FTL sensor. It operated like a telescope and allowed them, and us, to survey Andromeda all the way from home.
I should get back to things.
Sounds good.
I hear you found a stasis locker from the Solarian Ark.
Technically, someone else found it first. But yes.
How wonderful. I know it's not the Ark itself, but any sign is better than nothing, surely. Please, if I can help the search at all, just ask. Or ask anyway. You're good company.
Tell me something else about the ship.
O'Connell, our systems designer, was running a power distribution model, how power moves through the ship. But he forgot to lock his terminal and we, added a few embellishments. For 2 days, poor O'Connell was convinced that turning on all the bathroom lights would overload the engine core.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Oh, if I gossip anymore, I'll get in trouble.
You know, I haven't actually met many Solarians.
Careful. Depending who you ask, we're conniving spies, genius researchers, or meddling scientists. We have to pack a lot of living into 40-odd years. Everything gets accelerated. Lines blur. I just hope we don't repeat our old mistakes out here.
I'll let you concentrate.
You know where I'll be.
devil's advocate, okay?
Go for it.
With the Ket entrenched here and things as they are, maybe we should focus our efforts on leaving this cluster.
You mean quit? Run away?
Well, we came to find a new home, not a new enemy, right?
We knew this was a possible scenario, and we took the jump anyway.
What she said.
Ah, Ryder. Sorry for the mess.
Who's your friend?
An exalted Ket. I called Jarl to show him. Ah, there he is. Jarl, look at this. There's nothing Angara inside.
The physical can be deceiving.
I've run hundreds of tests. Only traces of the Angara genome remain. The exalted are Ket.
There must be a way to fix them.
Anything's possible. We just have to keep trying.
Even from mistakes, we can learn. Thank you, Ryder.
What?
Jarl needs to accept that exaltation is permanent. You're making his grief worse.
We've barely scratched the surface of what Ket are capable of.
The exalted are new beings. It's more than a transformation, it's a birth. There's no going back. Jarl is part of this crew. His welfare is my responsibility.
I know this job was a surprise, but you've really stepped up. And look, you got your Ket sample.
Their bodies are unlike anything I've seen. Centuries of gene stealing, crafted evolution. It's horrible, of course, but also fascinating.
Glad you're settling in.
Sink or swim, right? I should probably clean this up before it starts to smell. Ryder?
I'll let you get back to it.
I'll be here if you need me.
I'm in the tech lab, Pathfinder. What can I do for you, Pathfinder?
Can you tell me more about the Ket occupation?
It's a difficult subject. I'll answer what I can. I may get emotional.
Well, enough about that. I'll see you later, Jarl.
Stay strong and clear.
Now orbiting Kadara. Pathfinder, you've got missed calls on the Tempest. Check back when you've got a minute.
Gills ready to talk to you about the Ket transmitter?
Now orbiting Kadara.
You have questions? Be quick.
Thanks for your time.
Yes, yes. Go.
Not now. I'm calculating the antioxidant content of this irrigation system. It's difficult to focus with you hovering over me.
Ryder,
The Moshai told me about the artificial intelligence they brought to Aya. It must be hundreds of years old. The things it must have seen. Hello, Pathfinder. Any good news for me?
Is this Angaran? I found it on one of your homeworlds.
Son above. It's an ancient Ravan. A musical instrument. It uses Angara's body energy to produce music. We have them now, but nothing this beautiful. The songs it played were probably lost long ago. How much culture have we forgotten? Art, music, stories, it's all gone.
Because of you, it won't disappear completely.
Yes, I can be determined.
I admire it.
You say that now.
Any insight you can give me on the Remnant tech?
We don't know much. To our understanding, it's always been here. Stars. I would love to be the one to solve that mystery.
You said the helmet was touched by the Scourge. What does that mean?
I forget your people weren't around for that. When the Scourge appeared, it targeted Remnant ships, broke down their technology. With the drive cores disabled...
The ships crashed.
But that may not be all. The Scourge leaves a mark on whatever it touches. If it touched this helmet, perhaps the pilot was the target. There may be Remnant tech inside the helmet.
Or in the pilot.
Storms. I hadn't even thought of that.
I'll come back when I have something.
Stars guide your travels.
Thought I'd be building museums, not enjoying alien cultures.
Avela's getting restless.
What do you expect? She used to crawl through cat-infested ruins.
Than I could ever be.
Getting acquainted with our new neighbors?
Sort of. All this stuff. The Angara sure do have a rich culture and blah, blah, blah.
You're sauced, aren't you? What's your poison?
I visited that cafe the Angara consider a bar. Asked for their hardest stuff. It was weird, which I like, but had almost no punch. Lightweight. Whoa.
Steady now.
That stuff must have a slow absorption rate. Whoops. Oh, Ryder. It's just... This museum reminds me of being on Haitiana during my indentured service as a student. They even have a whole section on the Remnant. I didn't come to Andromeda to follow in someone else's footsteps.
Don't worry, PB. The Angara barely have a foothold. Sure, they live among the ruins, but they haven't seen what we've already seen.
You might have a point there. Bet nobody here has ever outrun an ancient vault purification field, huh?
Nope.
Or spat in that Archon's ugly mug and lived to talk about it? That was nice work, by the way.
Thank you.
You're right. Not sure why, but ever since I packed up my apartment on the Nexus, something's crawled under my skin. But whatever it is, I promise, I'll get over it lickety-split.
Be sure you do. You're a handful, even sober.
It's true. By design. Makes people less likely to try to handle me. Think I'll stay in your operation a little while longer.
Kefra should have come to me.
Axel, I'm all right.
You almost died. What's he doing here?
I asked the Moshai to set up a meeting. I don't want us to be enemies.
Is this true?
Axel, Ryder rescued me from the Ket. He risked his life to...
Sloane Kelly saved Kadara. Look how that went.
I don't condone what happened on Kadara, but one bad experience doesn't define an entire species.
Your kind has a history of treating each other unfairly. Just ask the Krogan.
How did you...
I've been watching you. You're invaders just like the Ket, except less cautious.
What does that mean?
You'll know soon enough. Do not trust them, Chauvin.
Axel... He didn't used to be like this. He was curious, brilliant. But the Ket, even without exaltation, they change us.
There's still time to bring him around.
I want to believe that, but his hatred towards aliens...
I'll prove we can be trusted.
I hope so.
Ryder, we just received an emergency recording from EOS. Come to the meeting room when you get back to the Tempest.
I found the device Ven was using to communicate with the Archon. I think we can use it to triangulate that Ket flagship's nav point.
All you have to do now is board it, steal the Meridian artifact, and escape in one piece.
You've been there. Tell me what to expect.
I saw very little. Corridors, an interrogation room, my prison cell. The Archon's vessel is a place of pain and death for the Ket's enemies. No one has attempted anything like this before. For all our sakes, you must succeed. Now it's my turn. Thank you for freeing Ven Teref at Kadara. I'm told you saved him from execution.
I know you wanted to question him. Did you learn anything?
Enough to understand his motives. He lost his way. But I have hopes he'll find it again. Ephra wanted to punish him. I suggested Ven help tend Aya's gardens. He spent too long surrounded by death. He needs to reconnect with life.
I'd like to know more about you.
What about me intrigues you?
You and my crewmate have a close relationship. Any advice? Hints?
He talks in his sleep. Worth it for the look on your face. Jarl is a dear and hopeless former student. He has a good spirit. You're lucky to have him, that's all.
Are you originally from Aya, or someplace else?
I was born on a research vessel in deep space. My parents were explorers. They never stayed in one place long. My own work has taken me to every world, many times over. They all try to claim me as their own, but if I'm honest, my favorite chair is here.
You're an expert on several topics. Remnant, Ket, stuff I don't even know exists.
All true. Why? Do you want to be my student?
Is that an option? Because I didn't train for this job. At all.
Yet you do it well. There are two kinds of knowing. What we take in from the universe, and what's already inside us. You have the essentials figured out. The rest you can learn as you go.
What are you working on these days?
I thought being a Ket prisoner was the worst fate imaginable. Then I got home and saw my backlog. A Valek comes in every so often asking if I have a second. At this rate, I'll never catch up. To answer your question, I'm busy with everything and nothing. We'll see which wins.
My translator doesn't know what to do with your title, Moshai.
Because it isn't a title, it's a reference. People from mythological times, before the Scourge. Legends say we once had many Moshai. Master inventors of unfailing wisdom, guided by boundless compassion.
That's a lot to live up to.
It's nonsense. Don't remember who first called me Moshai, but I do recall telling them to shut up. To my regret, the name stuck. I've minded less lately. Being the Moshai has its uses.
Any ideas on how we stop the Ket for good?
The real question is, how do we define victory over them? Complete eradication? Unlikely, costly, and morally dubious. Drive them away? How? What stops them from returning?
Peaceful coexistence doesn't seem to be an option.
There's much we still don't know. The Ket are not a simple problem. We can't reduce them to a simple solution.
When the Ket are gone, if we fix all these worlds, what do the Angara want?
Depends who you ask. We're individuals. Paran will continue spreading hope and optimism. I don't know what Ephra will do without an enemy to fight. Retirement won't suit him. As for me, maybe I'll just fade away. That's what people do when they're no longer needed, right?
Thank you, Moshai.
Ishare. Thank you for freeing Venturef at Kadara. I'm told you saved him from execution.
I know you wanted to question him. Did you learn anything?
Enough to understand his motives. He lost his way. But I have hopes he'll find it again. Ephra wanted to punish him. I suggested Ven help tend Aya's gardens. He spent too long surrounded by death. He needs to reconnect with life.
Thank you, Moshai.
Ishare.
Ambassador, I trust our people had a smooth transition to Aya.
The Angara have been gracious. Everything's going well.
Good. Keep me updated. 10 out.
I've never lied to a director before. Pathfinder, it's a pleasure. I'm Ambassador Riala, Chief Diplomat for the Initiative on Aya. I was removed from Cryo specifically for this. Quite the wake-up call.
I assume you're trained for first contact diplomacy.
I'm a social anthropologist with a linguistics background. Close enough for Director Tan. I hear you're to thank for our new ties with Aya. This is our best shot at an alliance. Now we just need to keep our people from wrecking it, no matter how hard they try.
If something's wrong, I need to know.
Maybe you can help me fix it. A Solarian botanist named Sorvis Len is here, learning how to improve our crops. He sent an urgent comm, saying a member of the Angaran resistance had threatened him.
What happened?
I'm not sure. Sorvis is an excellent scientist, but not the best communicator. I'm concerned this could escalate if someone doesn't look into it, but I don't have the staff to spare.
I can go settle things. I'm a friendly face for both sides.
That would be helpful. With any luck, we can prevent this from getting worse.
What's our end goal for Aya?
A strong alliance is all we can ask for. It's what we're working toward. Helios is the Angara's home. They dictate the terms of this partnership, not us. We need them as allies, and they could benefit from us. But we have to tread lightly.
Show them we're not invaders.
Historically, when two civilizations meet, one consumes or destroys the other. We need to break that cycle.
How many of our people have they let into the city?
A strictly limited number, and only certain professions. Scientists, engineers, and scholars. The Angara have agreed to allow some of our people to work in Aya's research facilities.
That's huge.
It's more than I expected. Tan wants me to push for social visits, but I'm holding my ground. We need to move at their pace. They've been extraordinarily gracious, all things considered. I'll take whatever they're willing to give.
Aside from Storvis Len, is everything okay? Need anything else?
Actually, yes. Director Tan gave me a project. He wants more Aya natives to live on the Nexus. He thinks it will deepen our partnership. A few Angara expressed interest, but none of them will agree to live on the Nexus without speaking to you first.
Why me?
After what you've accomplished? I didn't want to bother you, but you asked. I'll point you towards the candidates. If you could convince them to transfer, I'd be grateful.
That's all for now.
I'm here if you need anything.
I can't work under these conditions. What does it take to be left alone?
Ambassador Riala sent me to check on you. You reported that someone in the Resistance threatened you. Tell me exactly what happened.
I didn't know Riala was sending the Pathfinder. I deserve no less, of course. I was measuring the photonic dispersal from the canopies when some random brute interrupted me. I asked him to move, and he got nasty. Said it was my fault his friend was dead. Ridiculous.
Do you know what he meant by that?
He ranted nonsense about a vessel and selling slots to outsiders. He got right up in my face and compared me to a ket. He wanted to kill me. I could see it in his eyes. The whole conversation made no sense. I think he was inebriated.
Sounds like there's more to this. Don't suppose you caught his name?
Didn't ask, didn't want it, didn't need it. When he left, I tagged him with infrared dye from my sample kit. Invisible to the naked eye, but not to a scanner.
I'll scan people around the Resistance headquarters. See if I find him.
You're supposed to represent our interests on Aya. Go, represent. I have work to do. I've told you everything. My work is time sensitive. Stop wasting it.
Sam, what's this?
The decontamination console for visitors to the Med Center. Touch the start pad to use it.
How can I help?
I'll get moving.
Ishari.
I detect the infrared dye Sorvis Len used to mark the person who threatened him.
That's our man.
I know why you're here. The botanist. You want an apology for what I said to him.
I only have one side of the story. Tell me yours.
It's hard to explain.
Try me.
Aya isn't big enough to give everyone a home. We each live here a short time and then move on. For someone to come, another must go. The exchanges are chosen at random. We call this arrangement the Vassal. Time of change. It worked well, until now.
The Vassal never accounted for outsiders living on Aya.
There's only so much room. When our leaders agreed to make a place for your people here, it came with a cost. My friend won a place on Aya, but he sold that slot so one of you could stay here instead.
Sold it how? What did he get?
Comforts for his family, resources to improve their home on Haval. He always put others before himself. That's how he died, fighting Ket on Vold. When I found out, I was angry. Said things to your botanist I shouldn't have, but I'd never hurt your people.
He thinks you want him dead. Tell him what you just told me, and let's move on.
Thought I was clear the first time. Maybe his translator malfunctioned.
I'll talk to our ambassador. See if we can minimize our impact on your Vassal.
We don't expect things to be easy. Only that you understand, nothing is free for us. Thank you for listening, Pathfinder.
Welcome back. Any news on what happened to Sorvis Len?
Do you know about the Vassal? The Angaran lottery that decides who gets to live on Aya?
I've heard of it. Why?
Angar are selling their slots to come here, so our people can stay in their place. Including a member of the Angaran resistance. He was killed on Vold. Wouldn't have happened if he'd been here.
No one told me of this arrangement. Well, we have to do something.
Governor Shai is on our side. She'll know what to do.
You're right. We need to solve this problem together. Thank you, Pathfinder. I'll forward your proposal to Director 10 immediately.
What's our end goal for Aya?
A strong alliance is all. We need them as allies, and they could benefit from us.
Show them we're not invaders.
Historically, we need to break that cycle.
That's all for now.
I'm here if you need anything.
No rest for the weary.
Honor to meet you, Pathfinder. Initiative Pilot Marixus. I run supplies to your outposts.
What brings you to Aya?
There's survival supplies only Aya has. I'm waiting on clearance to enter the city, but it's taking too long. I understand their caution, but the outposts need these supplies. I have to get them, now.
They let me into the city? I can help.
I appreciate that. To start, EOS needs a way to produce food to support population growth. They've requested Kiloa seeds to begin their own crops. There's an agricultural scientist who might sell some.
I'll make sure to get those seeds.
Volt's power grid is lagging without proper solar input. The solar amplifier would give them the boost. The solar technicians here may have the required parts.
I'll see what I can find. Weird question. You don't have any Kiloa seeds, do you?
Yes, I do. Need some?
I found Kiloa seeds for EOS. Is this enough?
It's perfect. I'll make sure EOS gets them.
You work on the solar panels? Do you have an amplifier for solar energy?
Nothing as big as these, but I have a smaller one on hand. Do you need it?
Here, I found the solar amplifier for Volt.
They'll be happy to see this. No more power outages. Thank you, Pathfinder.
Ambassador Riala said you're thinking of moving to the Nexus.
Pathfinder. I'm honored even to be considered for the transfer, but I won't be happy as just an observer. I need to work. I engineer power systems. Will I be allowed employment alongside your people?
That's the whole point of this exchange. The Nexus needs people like you.
That's all I needed to hear. I'll have your ambassador start the transfer. Thank you.
You're one of Ambassador Riala's candidates to live on the Nexus.
I am. Glad you finally showed up. Let's get down to it. I've lived my whole life wanting to meet aliens who didn't want me dead. But my family's here. How can I stay in touch with them from the Nexus?
You'll have ways to send them text messages and comm transmissions.
I want contact with the people I love. You offer machines. Not good enough, Pathfinder.
Ambassador Riala said you're thinking of moving to the Nexus.
Pathfinder. I won't be happy as just an observer. I need to work. I engineer power systems. Will I be allowed employment alongside your people?
That's the whole point of this exchange. The Nexus needs people like you.
That's all I needed to hear. I'll have your ambassador start the transfer.
Invest in your personal protection.
You're one of Ambassador Riala's candidates to live on the Nexus.
I am. I've lived my whole... How can I stay in touch with them from the Nexus?
You can send messages, talk to them on the comm. We'll even arrange a visit.
You get it. All right. I'm in.
Pathfinder, Ambassador Riala didn't think you'd have time for me.
She said you needed to talk before agreeing to live on the Nexus.
This is the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm an anthropologist, but I've only ever studied my own people. I've heard the Nexus is home to multiple species and cultures. It will be fascinating and possibly dangerous. Bacteria, viruses, other contaminants. My family worries about me. Are you sure I'll be safe?
We'll take every precaution, but entering an alien environment is always a risk.
I appreciate your honesty, and so will my family. I'll convince them to let me go. Thank you.
I found the person who threatened you.
I know. I received a written apology from him. I assume I can continue my work undisturbed.
Next time your big mouth lands you in trouble, I may not save you.
We'll see what Director Tan has to say about that.
Tell him I say hi.
You're interfering with my readings. Good day, Pathfinder. There's nothing more to talk about. Let me work.